know how I'm supposed to do this.
Take your time, baby.
Okay. On behalf of my family, I would like to begin by thanking each and every one of you for coming and showing Trevor how truly loved he is and always will be. We have received countless phone calls, text messages, flowers, meals, visitors, thoughts and prayers, and we thank you for all of that. They've been more than helpful getting through the toughest time of our lives. But I'm Kinsey. Most of you know me, some may not. Trevor was my little brother, my best friend since he was born, and even my sparring partner, especially when he took my Justin Bieber posters off the wall. Or stuck his foot in my food, okay? A lot of you grew up with Trevor and can concur that he has always had a personality that is one of a kind. But few of you knew that chunky, mama-loving, curly-headed baby that has lit up the room since day one. I remember using him as my doll and dressing him up in girl clothes and him actually like rocking the shit out of him, okay? And I guess that's why he proceeded to be a girl for Halloween. Not once, but twice. Trevor loved his friends and family growing up, but he also loved sports. He was one hell of a football player, and I remember him being so mad that coach put him in the defensive end position. He always wanted to be the receiver because he wanted to put some points on the board himself. But then one day, he got that return touchdown from the 30-yard line and ran it all the way back. And he was so excited. But then it eventually got called back. He was so upset. But then, he realized that he was in the position to just lay out the quarterback and whoever had the ball. And he definitely used that to his advantage. Trevor has always been the most driven, motivated, and determined soul that I have ever come across and played any sport with his heart. I think Trevor's secret love was basketball. And those Dobb Creek basketball games were always my favorite to attend. He actually got our mom to be their coach, knowing she knew nothing about basketball. So, shout out to you for being a strong woman, Mom. You could just see in his eyes how much he loved to play basketball, whether it was during a rec game or just at a neighborhood court. But you would also always see him in Nanny's driveway playing in his underwear. And I say underwear lightly because we eventually just got used to it because it was so often. Okay?
And I'd say, get in and put some clothes on.
It was just his underwear and his sneakers. That's it. And not like boxer briefs, just straight up boxers. But, where was I? Also, if you knew Trevor, you knew that he loved his hair, his hygiene, and taking care of himself physically. I can't even tell you how many hairstyles he used to make me do for him in high school and middle school, y'all. The most popular was the Justin Bieber hair. I'm sure we all know about that stage. But the most favorite hairstyle of mine was the flow. That long hair. It was my favorite. And, what was I? Hold on. Oh. He wanted me to put his hair in a man bun with a braid one time. And I had like the biggest identity crisis for him myself. I was like, Trevor, I'm not doing that. But we also can't forget about that smile, that radiant smile that he took so much pride in. Every day, morning and night, those teeth had to be brushed. His teeth were so perfect that I think at one point he wanted to have a cavity just to experience what the process was like. I mean, I remember the dentist telling him that he had a smile that people would pay millions of dollars for. And honestly, I could not agree more. It has always was and always will be my favorite smile to look at. It was a smile worth 1,000 words, and a smile so inviting that he never met a stranger. High school can be tough for anybody, but Trevor always made sure to take those lonely kids under his wing and keep them close to him. Oh, I bet all he had to do was crack that smile, tell a joke, and they were sold. Trevor was the funniest, goofiest, and most charming young man you have ever come across, and I can guarantee that. He has left an impact on each and every one of your lives, even if it was the smallest interaction. Trevor graduated from West Forsyth High School and went on to attend Georgia Southern University in Statesboro with many of his close friends. At first, he wanted to major in marine biology because he's always had a love for animals. But then obviously somewhere down the road that just turned into a business degree. Trevor was the first sibling to make it to college, actually. And even though I have some college, He was always much better at school than I ever was. He was smarter than he thought he was, but he would still come to me for help in those college classes, even the ones I literally couldn't even pronounce. And I would help him every single time. Trevor was an animal lover. And I know he didn't have an animal of his own, but some of his roommates did, and he loved those animals like they were his own. But he especially loved my dog Sadie. He even named her himself. She had to be named Sadie, and he wouldn't have it any other way. Remember that? He also loved to go duck hunting in the lake behind their house during duck season, and he loved to work on Lake Oconee. But about the duck hunting, I heard that he never actually got a duck.
I don't think you ever shot a gun.
Yeah, and I was like, went out for the fun. But what I think he loved more than that was his style. And he took so much pride in his outfits. And like, I can't even begin to tell you guys how many t-shirts he's stolen from me through the years. Like through our whole family, my nanny's clothes. He would steal anything. He would just rock it. But yeah, her pajamas, whatever. And this one time, I remember for Christmas, I made my family all these t-shirts with my baby picture on it. I'm sure some of you remember that t-shirt. He loved that t-shirt. He wore it all the time. So now all I think I can do in return is make one of his baby picture and wear it all the time. But, and then I remember one time at Christmas, he came downstairs in Nanny's pajama pants, one of her t-shirts, and the lining of like, not the whole coat, just the lining of a Burberry raincoat for some reason. And her Ugg boots. And I'm gonna miss those Christmas mornings when he comes down and you just don't know what he's gonna wear. But, oh gosh, this is where it gets sappy, y'all. I'm gonna miss those hugs from my giant little brother, and I'm gonna miss the I love yous after every phone call, text message, and get-togethers. I'm gonna miss all the clever and funny things that he would just say, that would just come out of his mouth. And he would just sit there and just like wonder, how does somebody come up with these things? Oh, I'm sure we each have big things and little things that we're gonna miss about Trevor. But knowing him, he would tell all of us not to mope about it, and that life happens. Where was I? All Trevor ever wanted was for each and every single one of you to be better every day. That's it.
Amen.
That's it. So all I ask is for you to try to be at least 1% better for Trevor every single day. Even if it's the smallest thing, like making your bed in the morning, just do it for Trevor. Woo! And I ask that you, what? You said? Yeah. And I ask that you think about him and talk about him every day. Share memories and stories with people who weren't fortunate enough to meet him. Laugh about memories with friends and family. Do everything to keep his memory alive. I'm told Trevor went around saying and living by this famous Abraham Lincoln quote. And it goes, in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. And I think we can all agree. It's exactly what he did. While the rest of my life, I will have a piece of my heart that's missing, and will constantly be trying to figure out how to move through life and be normal without my best friend. I know he's watching and taking care of us from above. Trevor loved his friends and his family, and he made sure we all knew that. It went from telling everybody I love you, and it got shortened to just love, spelled L-U-V. So, everybody stand up if you can. If you have a glass, I want you to raise it. Oh, and on the count of 3, I just want everybody to shout love, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Love! And once again, I would like to thank every one of you for coming out, because it truly means a lot, and I know it means a lot to him.
Everybody, I'm going to start mine with a cheers instead. So, cheers, everybody. Love.
Love.
Today we're gathered here not only to celebrate, but to live our lives as Trevor would want us to. Not only was he a good friend, he was a brother to me. I don't want to make this long, and I don't want to make it sad. I just really want to spread some of the stories that me and my friends got to experience with him. Trevor always made time for me and my friend group, and I'm very appreciative of that. He always made a point to hang out with us and to be with us when we were in high school and even in college. Some of my best times were with me and my friend group in college. There was 6 of us, and we always stayed at my house, and we got most of Trevor's better years, and I'm very blessed for that. Sorry, I really didn't mean to make this emotional.
Got it.
During high school, our friend group always spent our nights and days, whether it was a school night or not, at my mom's house, which we're all very appreciative of, but we always got to be together. So after high school, when we get out of class, we'd all go to the basketball courts over at Fieldstone. Those were the best hoop sessions we ever got. If we weren't running around the neighborhood just doing what kids do, we were swimming at the pool or the ponds or just hanging out at the house, just spending quality time with each other like kids do. We loved Trevor. He never failed to put a smile on anybody's face. When he'd walk into a room, you had no other choice but to change your mood no matter what was going on because of his goofiness and his smile. Everyone just loved him, and he was so funny. After high school, me and Trevor and Scotty all moved into an apartment into Statesboro, and those were the best years I'd say that we ever got to have with each other. It was the most fun. Whether we just were at the house cooking dinner every night or over at Southern Social on Wednesdays for beer night, just to have a good time to lay around. The times I remember the most of the days though, when we just spent genuine time together and we're at 223 hanging out, cleaning up the house, helping each other with homework, and just spending quality time with each other watching movies, being goofy and just hanging out. Those are the times that I'm going to remember the most. Long live Slack Coop.
What's up, everyone? My name is Blake. I'm just going to get right into this. I just want to start off by saying I'm not very big on public speaking, so if I look nervous or mess up, don't laugh too hard. But I also wanted to say that it's great to see as many people here to celebrate Trev. We are all here because of Trev. We all know each other because of him. That's one of the things Trevor did best, is bringing people together. This group of people in front of me, my friends, was brought together by Trevor. He was the center point of our group, and he knew that. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the memories we have, the stories to tell, and all the unforgettable laughs. And now I think our group would be stronger than ever because of this. I was fortunate enough to spend a trip to the beach with him just a couple months ago. It was just me and him, and I can't explain how much fun we had together in just a few days down there. It was nothing but good times and laughter. I remember us telling each other that there's no one else we would want to be on the trip with because we just clicked like that. And ever since I met Trevor on the Sunny Mountain Panthers football team when we were 5 years old, I knew Trevor would be a friend to me. But as the years went by, we quickly became more than just friends. We became brothers. When we were growing up, all we cared about was girls and football. And to play football, you have to be muscular. And to get girls, you have to be muscular. So me and Trevor were determined to do just that. And I remember being on the back of the bus in middle school doing push-ups and sit-ups on the bus on our way home, comparing our abs to each other. And when we would get off the bus, we'd do our little handshake and look forward to doing it all again the next day. But I've always been shy and soft-spoken, and Trevor was the complete opposite of that. He was loud and always had something to say. So he really helped me come out of my shell whenever we were together. And you always knew when he was in the room, the biggest smile and the biggest laugh. Always the funniest in the room. But apart from being funny, Trevor brought so much to the table. He showed all of us what friendship was about. He showed us what love was. And he showed us how to care for one another. He never let a day go by without telling his friends and family that he loved them, and we were all so thankful for that. But in my opinion, his best quality was loyalty. I can't count how many times I've needed someone there for me, but Trevor was always there. He showed me what the true definition of ride or die is. He always had my back, no matter the situation, and trust me, there was a lot. I could talk for hours on end about him, but most of all, I just wanted everyone to know how much he meant to me and all of us. I'm going to miss him like crazy, but I'm thankful for a friend like Trevor, and I was fortunate enough to walk this life with him. Love.
Good. They mentioned I'm a coach at Dom right now, and I actually know Pam too. All the fun memories of Trevor and her through Facebook. I did have an opportunity to meet him, and he was exactly like he was on Facebook. He didn't know me from a bucket of paint, but he treated me like he knew me his whole life, and that was great to experience that. And I'm honored here to give the prayer, so I would like to ask all of you to bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we come before you, and we ask that you hear this earnest prayer. This is an earnest prayer, Heavenly Father. We ask that you give Pam the peace and the strength in this season of her life to let her know that you are God Almighty, that you're the only one can give her comfort. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you, Heavenly Father, for allowing Trevor to fly down to this earth and sprinkle all the happiness and the joy that he has given.
Hello everyone. If you don't know me, my name is TJ Taylor. I came here really just to say thank you to one of the biggest influences in my entire life. When I was only a timid little toddler who was just like spastic, had ADHD and all this random things, Trevor was like a second big brother to me. Anytime that he would, bust my balls or whatever, in a loving way, let me put that together, it formed me into the man that I am today. Hell, he even formed most of my music tastes. I remember when he gave me and my brother this iPod that had hundreds and hundreds of songs. And it showed me a lot of good music, like good 2000s throwbacks, introduced me to Kid Cudi, and also a bunch of random girl pop. There is a sensitive side to Trevor, I promise you. And if it wasn't for him, I would not be the person I am today. The amount of times he made me laugh, hell, he even made me piss his pants when I was pissed my pants in the 3rd grade, sitting in the corner of his room because he was saying some parody of some Lil Wayne song. And I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my entire life. And on top of those smaller moments, he's made me laugh, made me feel better in some of the darkest moments of my entire life. And I'm going to say it again, I don't think I'd be the same person I am today without him. And I just want to say thank you, Trevor. I love you very much. And thank you.
My name is Dominic Gabriel. My son Dominic and Trevor became very close friends. And through the years, he'd spend the night more than one occasion. And he'd say, Mr. D, I'm really hungry. And I'd say, what do you want? He says, can you make me some of that fabulous French toast? And I said, sure. He said, how hungry are you? And he says, really hungry. So there would be maybe 3 or 4 guys that had spent the night. And all the other guys would have like 1 or 2 pieces. And Trevor would have like 4 or 5 slices of French toast with sausage and scrambled egg. And he'd look at me and says, oh, that was good. And then the other guys, if they didn't finish, he said, you guys not going to eat that? I mean, it was amazing. But got to know Trevor for a long, long time. And, I tell you, I've been fighting cancer for 2 years. And every time I talk to Trevor, used to say, it's okay, Mr. Dean, you're gonna make it. You're one of those people that God will let you stay here for a long time. And when Dominic told me I fell to the ground, I'm gonna miss him so much. He was a loving soul, and it was amazing, like everybody said, his smile. It was infectious. And I'm gonna miss him an awful lot. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. I'm Trevor's cousin. Probably last time, remember that song before all this happened. But it was me, Blake, all of us, riding him down to the house. Went to the beach, all that stuff. Saw some beer pong, all that stuff, but Trevor had a contagious smile.
We got this, Ryan. Try it out.
And one thing he said about everybody was he loved his family and he loved his friends. So, I appreciate you all being out here. I love them with all my heart. I know you guys did. He was more than my cousin, he was my brother. He was always down at my house every weekend. I just appreciate every one of y'all for being here. I love every one of y'all. Thank you.
Got some big shoes to do. I called Trevor T. He was a second son to me. I didn't get to know him in the college years. I knew him when he was younger. Pam and I were neighbors. I feel like T lived at our house for 2 years. His mom, and she was awesome. She worked, she provided. They always had everything they needed. But be like, Miss Stacy, can I come over there? Can I stay with you? And Pam was so good about it. She let him. Memories, so many memories. Our son Dylan was his best friend for so many years. And Trevor was a Michigan State football fan. My son was an Ohio State fan. So they love that time of the year to go back and forth with each other. Loved it. Had to kind of separate them at some time. I remember it would be so cold talking about Trevor in his underwear. I'd pass by, I'd pull in the neighborhood. Pam was like the second, third house on the right. I'm like, T, dude, where's your pants? It's like 15 degrees outside. It's okay, Miss Stacy, I'm okay. Playing basketball. Or I would get calls in the morning, Miss Stacy, I missed the bus. Can you come pick me up? Yes, T. Can you take me to school? He did have a smile, and that smile was addictive. Addicting. He could make me smile days I didn't feel like smiling when he would come over. He brought so much joy, just so much happiness into every one of us. I think what I'll miss most is hearing that, him call me Miss Stacy. I love you, Miss Stacy. And he always said, peace, peace. Every time he left, peace, Miss Stacy, peace. I don't have my notes here. They're actually in the car, so I'm trying to remember. I will say this. Trevor may have been 22 years old. I'm 44 years old. I have not lived as much life as Trevor did in 22 years. He lived every day to the fullest. Never once heard that kid say a negative word about anybody. Except a couple of girls that Dylan liked, and he was like, dude, come on, man, look, come on, dude. And I'd be like, T, just leave him alone, leave him alone. He's crazy, I don't know, he's not mine. But never once did I ever hear him say a negative word. And I look at this room, and it's so much Trevor. We all come from different walks, and he brought us all together. And that's who he was. So I want to thank you, Pam. I want to thank you, Dan, for sharing tea with me.
Thank you.
Let's
Most of you won't know me. My name's Chase. I was Trevor's cousin. I would maybe only see him once a year at the Burn Christmas party. He was the life of it. No matter what room he was in, everyone just sort of gravitated around him. It doesn't feel real. I may only have seen him once a year, but that meeting, it would just fill your heart, and then you would see him the next one, and it's like, man, I can't believe how much I missed you. The day I already passed, it took a bit to hit. It just, like I said, it just didn't feel real. But I just kept doing what I would normally do any other day. And then I get in the car to go to work, and just I can't even remember what song, and I just burnt down. I get into the parking lot, I sit down, I have to calm down, I just gotta keep going. He wouldn't have wanted me to just sit there and be sad, but couldn't help it. I go home, still crying all the way. I go home and cry some more. The world didn't feel the same without him. It felt great, it felt muted, but he wouldn't want that. I miss him so much. I love him to death, and I'm gonna eventually see him again. And until then, I'm gonna do what he did, live every day to the fullest. I love you and I miss you, man.
I'm Tim Taylor. You met my son TJ a little while ago, and wanted to echo something that Stacy said. Kind. Trevor was the most kind human being I ever met. I never, ever saw him treat anyone badly. Now, that's not to say, because I've got two good Trevor stories. That's not to say that if you treated him poorly, or more importantly, if you treated someone that he loved poorly, God help you. So the story was, we were at the beach, and they had these big inflatable playgrounds out there. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen them, but it's like slides and stuff like that. Trampolines and stuff, right? So Zach and TJ, who are my sons, and Trevor were out there on this thing. And there was some kid up there being an ass. And, you know, Trevor called him on it, and the kid spit in his face. He made a rapid descent off that slide. And on the beach, I'm sitting on the beach, and you can just, from the distance, you can see there's pointing, and there's talking, and then there's... So that was Trevor. But the other story that I will tell every time I want people to know what kind of influence they can have will be one of these Trevor stories, where the beautiful thing was, because I had sons that were 2 years apart, you can imagine peace was not always present with that group. They're too close in age, so they clashed from time to time. The beautiful thing was Trevor wouldn't get in the middle and say, hey, y'all calm down, or stop fighting, or whatever. No, he cracked some stupid joke that would make them laugh at the joke and forget about what they were fighting for. It was a gift, and he was a gift to us. And I'm very thankful for that gift, and we're going to miss him, but we're going to remember him every day through the stories that we're all going to tell. Love, Trevor.
Hello, everybody. I'm Aiden. Trevor and all of his friends know me as Cole. I'm Caleb's little brother. Trevor was always there at the house, and growing up I was not very sociable. I found myself sad a lot of the time, and when Trevor was around, that didn't matter. Trevor changed me, and he helped shape who I am today, and I'm very grateful for him. And as everybody has said, we're all going to miss him a lot. Trevor's influence will not be forgotten. Sorry. Because his impact on everybody here's life, it's immaculate. Nothing can be changed now. And he's to thank for that. Sorry. Trevor helped me through a lot. Along with all of Caleb's friends and my brother, of course. He made me feel welcome where I would otherwise feel I was not. Love.
What's up, everybody? I'm Dylan. I had the privilege of growing up with him. From pretty much the point that he was 2 years old. And we had some good times. But I got to watch the little kid grow into a man. He was an amazing friend. That's why all of us are here. From everywhere. From Statesboro. All over the state. Because he had an impact on everybody that he ever touched. He had a smile that could just walk into a room. You could have had the worst day in your life, and it stopped everything for you. He had a heart. He'd rip the shirt off his back for you. And that came from Pam and Tyler and Mackenzie. He grew up with a loving family. They were amazing. They were amazing to me, even. Plenty of good times, plenty of good stories with the guy. The one I'll never forget, it'll give you a good laugh actually, is he was in 6th grade, and I don't think anybody actually does know this story, so this will be the first time, sorry T. Hopefully he doesn't get embarrassed too much. But he came to me in the neighborhood, and he was like, pulled out his phone. I was like, what is it that you're trying to show me? I guess it's the first time that he had just discovered women. Keep in mind, I'm like 2 years older than him, and I was like, well, that's great, buddy. I'm happy for you. Trying to hold it all together, like this is not really what I wish to see. And he's like, no, man, come on, you gotta look, you gotta be strong, things falling. I'm like, stop, put it down, put it down. But the kid used to always play basketball, and I mean literally, when I say always play basketball, it could be raining, sleet, snow, did not matter. And he was always outside in boxers. I kid you not, it always happened. It's very true. Always happened. Never failed. And I remember for a long time, he said, one day I hope that we can be the duo of like a Scottie Pippen and a Michael Jordan. So, buddy, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't have those kind of skills. But I tell you what, he left the impact that Michael Jordan would have, because he touched everybody. And I'm blessed to ever meet him, and I'll never forget him. Love.
One more. If you know anyone that hates Trevor, kill them. Trevor for that long, but he was a good friend while he was here.
He was a great friend.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
We did not know Trevor very long. Actually, I haven't met y'all, but Trevor moved in with us this summer when he was working with Caleb. So, gosh, he was there every day, and he was a larger than life presence, and just like everybody said, just this big megawatt smile, just sweet, loving big teddy bear of a guy. And these girls, oh my gosh, he treated them so well, and he played with them, and just like, they were included, and they fell in love with him. And that was Ava's best buddy, and y'all, this broke my heart. The day we found out, I didn't tell the girls right away because they're only 10 years old, and I didn't, they haven't really experienced any kind of loss that's close to them. So I waited till later on in the day, and we were in the car driving. I said, hey, I want to tell you guys what's going on because everybody's been super sad today, and I know you've noticed it. And I told them what happened, and Trevor had gone to heaven and everything, and I'm gonna tell you, it started raining instantaneously. And this little girl that's been up here crying said, oh my God, Mommy, Jesus is crying for Trevor. And that broke my heart into a million pieces. She adored him. She did. They both did. But we were so blessed and grateful to know him for the short time we did. And he has left a lasting impression in our household. So, bless y'all. We love him, and we're so grateful. Thank you.
Yo.
I got a call 2 weeks ago from my son's mother. First person I called was my mother. 2 days later, my mother called me. She was looking at pictures. And she said, you know what? Every picture I have of Trevor, there's a story. I mean, we all take pictures, oh, they were here, we were there.
But if you look at a picture of Trevor, he's either starting something in the middle of something, or it's the end of that story. There is a story. And thank everybody for being here. We love you. I mean, that boy loved people, man. And I love you. God bless everybody. And everybody that's here will never forget him. I do know that. You won't forget him. God bless. I love everyone.
Makes the butterflies now because since his dad spoke, nobody else gets to.
I forgot to mention that I still have 3 sons, Taylor, Tyler, and Jack, and my beautiful daughter Mackenzie. And Tyler also left behind 2 beautiful grandmothers, a great aunts, Tyler, Trevor. Y'all look the same. Love you.
What's up, everyone? Y'all ready to get this going?
I'm not sure if y'all know this story, but Trevor had a friend who had a similar situation, and his mom told us that whenever she goes up to see him at the memorial spot, there's always a blue butterfly. But when she found out about Trevor, there was a yellow butterfly. So we're gonna release some butterflies for Trevor. Wait, we have to do it out here.